You mean to tell me you take orders from a grasshopper?
Why, when your grasshopper friends get here, we are gonna knock them dead!
And I heard a grasshopper say that when they're finished,
It wouldn't hurt you to take orders from your grasshopper.
Excuse me, grasshopper?
I tell you a tale of heroes so bold who vanquished our grasshopper enemies of old.
Grasshopper disassemble.
This is worse than being in love with a grasshopper.
No, grasshopper.
Grasshopper, orthopterous insect.
Check up with the grasshopper.
I'm like the grasshopper who sang all summer.
That's an old dumping spot for grasshopper bait, loaded with arsenic.
I've known him since he was literally knee-high to a grasshopper.
We'll be breached like the grasshopper.
Hey, look like the grasshopper found himself a blade of grass to sit upon.
So Grasshopper walks into a bar. And the bartender's like, "We have a drink named after you." Grasshopper?
You got eyes like a grasshopper.
What do you look for beyond the sea, grasshopper?
We now have more important things concerning us, like finding out what happened to the grasshopper.
I'll go as a grasshopper, and you can be my cricket lady friend.
Last time I saw you, you were knee-high to a grasshopper.
Grasshopper?
To admit, I'm concerned about our great leader's grass-tai-chi.
Mining claims we've got the Mountain Maid Mine, the Matty Blaylock, and the Grasshopper.
Now they all trapped on Mr. Prouse's storm. Although one or other such thing befell the grasshopper.
A margarita, an Alexander, a grasshopper.
Thanks, Mr. Grasshopper.
She's a grass.
The grasshopper eat the ant.
You look like a big grasshopper, Jack.
Good answer, Grasshopper.
Once upon a time, there was an ant and a grasshopper.
Really, grasshopper?
You look just like a grasshopper.
What do you look for beyond the sea, grasshopper?
Save the psychoanalysis for your grasshopper friends.
Now we'll hear about the carefree grasshopper and the busy ant.
I have another grasshopper.
I'll wait until we're looking for the grasshopper.
As you try to catch a grasshopper, or how your laugh can pull me from sorrow.
It's the grasshopper and the ant, buddy. That's. Hey, grab the pebble from my hand, grasshopper!
The grasshopper is cold. The ant and the grasshopper.
We're in Burbank, grasshopper.
The grasshopper?
If you don't think it's the grasshopper and the ant, then don't just say it's the grasshopper and the ant.
Michael!
Hey, grasshopper walks into a bar.
This grasshopper walks in a bar, and the bartender says, "We have a drink named after you."
Do I look like a grasshopper?
we all bring grasshopper.
And then I couldn't even eat a single grasshopper.
It's like a drunken grasshopper.
It's a big insect like a grasshopper.
No, I was talking about mites, and I mentioned that mite larvae can be found behind grasshopper gills.
Mr. Grasshopper?
What's a grasshopper?
You can never be happy with that grasshopper.
Well, it seems old Wes thinks you're a grasshopper.
An ant has more intelligence than a hippopotamus. And that a grasshopper, in relation to his size, has more power in his hind legs than a kangaroo.
Good, Grasshopper.
So are you a grasshopper?
Show me what you got, grasshopper.
It's the grasshopper.
Grasshopper.
He compared you to an animated grasshopper.
What's the big secret, grasshopper?
Oh, mule and a grasshopper eating ice cream.
So, a grasshopper gets off work.
I was a lawyer, and he was but knee-high to a grasshopper.
Operation Grasshopper.
Grasshopper is an insect!
Kind of grasshopper that's getting in people's hair all the time.
The grasshopper, a pretty violin.
Grasshopper, she's a girl.
Grasshopper or cricket?
Grasshopper, mi corazón?
And the grasshopper says,
Oh.
Mite larvae, which can be found behind grasshopper gills.
Grasshopper in a glass, it's green.
Well, the grasshopper, June.
Look, it's a grasshopper.
Like the FBI, CIA, KGB, JDL, NAACP, that kind of grasshopper.
Hey, little grasshopper.
The clown part and the grasshopper part.
He's got the IQ of a grasshopper.
He's had every chance to be since he was knee-high to a grasshopper.
Well, my friend Michigan has a wife whose arteries wouldn't keep a grasshopper going for 2 hours.
Brett, I've known Belle since I was knee-high to a grasshopper.
Well, if it isn't Veda, the grasshopper girl.
But you may call me Grasshopper.
Ladies and gentlemen, I, Brooke Masterson, here at Grasshopper Hill, shall now attempt to communicate with this coach.
Drawn and quartered a grasshopper, or hurled a malicious stone
towards a ball-molesting squirrel.
I just pictured the grasshopper talking with your voice.
What about this grasshopper gone?
Grasshopper.
I met your great-grandpappy when I was knee-high to a grasshopper.
Grasshopper, so that's Captain Bracegirdle's ship. Listen.